Hello everyone. Have you ever noticed how that first bite of your favorite food tastes absolutely amazing, but by the time you are on your fifth bite, it's say just okay? Why does that happen? Well, today we are diving into a fundamental concept in economics called utility and a super important law of diminishing marginal utility. Sounds complex? But trust me, it explains a lot about why we make the choices we do. Okay, let's break it down very simply. Okay, now what on earth is utility? In simple terms, it's just the satisfaction, happiness, or usefulness you get from consuming something. Whether it's a slice of pizza, watching a movie, or even just a glass of water. Okay, now it's the want satisfying power of a good or a service. And generally, we try to make choices that give us the most utility or most satisfaction possible with our limited resources. Now, there are two types of utility to know: total utility and marginal utility. Total utility, that's the overall satisfaction from consuming all the units, like the total happiness from eating 3 slices of pizza. That is total utility. Marginal utility, that's the key one for today. Okay, that's the one which we are trying to understand today. Marginal means extra or additional. So marginal utility is the extra satisfaction you get from consuming just one more unit. Okay, now how much extra joy did that second slice bring compared to the first one? That is what is called marginal utility. Okay, now here is the big idea: the law of diminishing marginal utility. Diminishing means decreasing. Understand this: diminishing means decreasing. Okay, now the law of diminishing marginal utility states as you consume more and more units of the same good continuously, the extra satisfaction or the marginal utility you get from each additional unit will eventually decrease. Okay, understand that again. Now think about a pizza, for example. Okay, let's assume you're hungry and you have ordered a pizza. Okay, now the first slice, your hunger is satisfied, a little satisfied, and you will get high satisfaction. The taste will be great and higher marginal utility. Second slice, it's pretty good, still enjoyable, but less thrilling than the first one. The marginal utility drops. Now slice 3. Okay, let's actually explain this in graph. Now imagine this: slice 1, when slice 0, marginal utility is 0. In the first slice, this is slices of pizza. In the first slice, the taste is amazing, your hunger is satisfied, so the marginal utility will be on a higher side. Okay, so the marginal utility will be equivalent to your total utility, which is on a higher side, 10. The second slice, it's pretty good, still enjoyable, but less thrilling than the first one. Okay, now the marginal utility drops. Total utility is the utility of the total satisfaction level of complete pizza. So second slice will be, total utility will be first slice satisfaction plus second slice satisfaction. So second slice, the satisfaction level is good, a little lesser than the first one. Okay, so 18. Marginal utility is just 8. Okay, simultaneously it just goes down. Okay, on slice 3, 4, if on the fourth slice you see, the utility, the satisfaction level drops. Okay, you barely want it at fourth slice. Fifth slice, you are self-sufficient. You will say, now that's enough, I don't want more slices. Okay, that is the point when marginal utility will be 0. Now if you eat one more slice, you will not like it, right? So that is disutility. Okay, zero or negative is disutility. Now the extra satisfaction diminishes with every extra slice. That is the law in action. Understood? So marginal utility basically is that extra satisfaction which you get. Now law of diminishing marginal utility, it states that as and when you keep taking more of the same good, okay, your satisfaction level decreases, your marginal utility level decreases. Okay, fantastic. Now why care about this law? Why is this very important? This is super important because it helps explain the law of demand. Now law of demand is very important law in economics. It will come in the next videos. Okay, now it helps explain the law of demand, why we buy more only when prices are lower. It also explains how we make choices to spend our money. Okay, now law of diminishing marginal utility, it's also a basis for ideas about fair taxation. Okay, now businesses use it for pricing as well as for marketing. That is the reason law of diminishing marginal utility is important. Okay, now assumptions. Understand the ground rules. Like many laws in economics, even law of diminishing marginal utility will have some assumptions or conditions where it works best. Okay, assumptions means these conditions has to be satisfied for the law to work. For the law means the law of diminishing marginal utility. So the assumptions of law of any law, the assumptions means these conditions have to be satisfied. Only then the law will work. Okay, now what are the assumptions? Okay, standard unit. Units are standard. You know, we are comparing apples with apples only. We are not comparing apples with orange. Consumption is continuous. We should not take long breaks. For example, pizza, first slice if I take now, second slice if I take after 15 minutes, no, this law will not work then. Okay, and you are a rational consumer trying to maximize satisfaction. Okay, now we see the those in on the gupchup bandis, you will see a lot of people betting, I'll eat 50 gupchups, I'll eat 60 gupchups. For them it will not work. You need to be a rational consumer. Okay, and units are consumed one after another. Okay, they are measured in the numbers. Okay, these just help isolate the effect we are studying. Next, what are exceptions? Okay, breaking the rules. Now there are times when these satisfaction level doesn't decrease with more. Okay, now let me just explain them why. Those are basically exceptions. For example, hobbies or collection. Now the more stamps, now hobbies, if you have a stamp collection hobby or coin collection hobby or any hobbies, okay, the next item will bring you more satisfaction. It will not decrease. So that is an exception to this law. Second is money. Okay, initially money. Now for very poor people, extra rupee will give you more satisfaction. To some extent, for rich people it will work, but for to some extent for poor people or for middle class people, this will not work. Knowledge or say music. Okay, the more knowledge you get, the more satisfaction you will get. Law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work here. Addictions like alcohol or drugs, you will never be happy with 30 ml, 60 ml or 90 ml. Okay, if time permits, you will be more happy if you are getting more and more at that point of time. This does not work there as well. Okay, so the law is a general tendency, but context also matters. Now let's speak about limitations and criticism of the law. Some limitations and certain criticisms. Now measuring utility is very hard. Can you give can you actually give satisfaction a number? It's very difficult. Okay, so that's the limitation. It looks like at one good, but often the utility of goods is interlinked. Okay, it basically is depending on another good. So interdependency of goods is one limitation. Now these assumptions aren't always realistic. What we learned a couple of slides earlier, assumptions, they are not realistic. Okay, is marginal utility of money truly constant? Say for example, I have 100 rupees and you have 500 rupees. Now if I get another 100 rupees, my happiness, and if you get another 100 rupees, your happiness, are they equal? You already have 500. So your amount will become 600. I have 100, my amount will become 200. Now this marginal utility, can this be constant? No, they do change, right? Now these don't make the law useless, but remind us its simplified model of complex human behavior. Okay, now let's summarize. Did this explanation help make utility and law of diminishing marginal utility clearer? You understood utility? Utility means satisfaction from consuming good. Marginal utility is satisfaction from one extra unit. Law of DMU, law of diminishing marginal utility is your marginal utility decreases as you consume more of the same good continuously. Right? Perfect. Now, let me know in comments what is something you experience diminishing marginal utility with. For example, pizza or video, anything. Okay. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and bye bye till next time.